And welcome to our community. Susie Thomas with you this morning. We are visiting with Wendy Lichtenwalter, who is president of the Mercy Service League. Good morning.
Good morning, Susie.
Well, first of all, some people might not be familiar with Mercy Service League. What is Mercy and what is the Service League of Mercy?
Mercy Hospital is the medical center that's right on the corner of 13th Street and the freeway. And we are a fundraising arm that works with the hospital. If you don't mind, I'll read my mission statement.
Sure.
The mission of the Mercy Service League is to support the ideals and philosophies of Mercy Medical Center and the ministry of the Sisters of Charity of St. Augustine through service, outreach, and education within the medical center and the community.
I think one thing that's neat about Mercy Hospital and unique to it is that relationship with the Sisters of Charity. Can you address that a little bit?
The sisters started the hospital, I think, in the early 1900s, and they have continued to have God's purpose as their purpose in the community. They expect that anyone will be treated with dignity and respect, and no one will be turned away from the hospital for inability to pay. They hold that purpose importantly, and there's a little devotional every morning at the hospital, and every time a baby's born, they play Brahms' Lullaby.
Love it.
It's just very sweet, and there's always someone there to reach out to you from the pastoral care department if you need something else.
Mm-hmm. And we should say Sisters of Charity are involved in a number of things.
Yes.
The hospital is one thing that they're
Yes.
interested in.
And their foundation does an enormous amount of work. They focus on children and the community at large, healthcare services, that kind of thing that really make a lot of difference among the residents of the whole county.
To be a Service League member, some people think, you need to be one of the doctor's wives or something like that. That's not the case. Talk about the membership of Service League.
We don't have a lot of medical staff wives anymore. A lot of times the doctors work for another company. They aren't necessarily connected directly to the hospital. So it's women, and actually we have a man member this year.
Neat.
Who just feel that the community fundraising is something that they can spend some time on. The membership doesn't require you to attend meetings. You can choose to be an active member for a mere $35 a year. Or if you want to be a sustainer, the dues are higher, and that means you just pay money and you don't really attend things. But, it's a very active, involved, friendly group of women that want to earn money for things that are done at the hospital, but not. We do have a new fundraiser that we did last year.
Mm-hmm.
Wine, Women, and Shoes.
Mm-hmm.
And my daughters actually came and said, "Wow, Mom, this is the most fun fundraiser I've ever been at." With Wine, Women, and Shoes for the title. How could it be bad? But it isn't. The money for that doesn't go to the hospital. It goes for women's cancer services. So what your insurance doesn't pay for, like a wig or edema sleeves or your electric bill. I mean, things that cannot be covered by insurance that are going to make it possible for you to not thrive while you have cancer, but, just take the stress off the patient. They have patient navigators who work with these people, and they could pay for respite services so you have a babysitter while you're in chemo, or maybe your electric bill needs to be paid. It's just things that cannot be paid by insurance, but absolutely make the quality of life of the patients better. So
someone doesn't have to worry about that extra financial burden on
Exactly.
top of the health burden, and they can focus on getting better.
Yes, and the fundraising goal was small, and they made well over $200,000, which that was profit that actually can be used for these services. And so the date for Wine, Women, and Shoes next year is May 19th.
We'll have you back before that, just to remind everyone, because that just is an
I'll bring
awesome.
my chairman. It
Yes.
really is just so much fun, and there's broad support in the community for this because we all know someone who's had cancer, and it doesn't have to be breast cancer. It can be, any kind of cancer that can be compromising the health of a person that is at the hospital.
What else does Service League do?
We have the Harvest Ball, which has been our major fundraiser. It's held in the fall. It's one of those fundraisers that they don't have a million other auctions. So you just go and you have a really good time and have a delicious dinner and dance. And there is a cash raffle that goes with that, but you don't have to buy the raffle ticket to go to the dinner.
Which is so unique because this area is famous for dinner auctions. And if you wanted to, you could probably go to one every single weekend during a certain amount of time there. There's a period of time where there's one a week. But yeah, Harvest Ball, thanks. It's just a fun evening out.
Yeah. Well, the tickets are a little more than the ordinary
But you don't have to spend it on.
But yeah, I mean, so it's just really a lot of fun. And what I really came to talk about today is the Super Bowl, which is something that I started. This is be our fifth one. It's spelled SOUP, Super Bowl. And it's a soup tasting competition. This year it's going to be at the McKinley Airy Eagles, which is on Monticello on the corner of Perry Drive in Monticello. Tickets are a mere $30, and for a fundraiser, that includes at least 12 different kinds of soup that you can taste. We have generally the high school culinary classes make the desserts, and you get to vote on your favorite restaurant soup, your favorite caterer soup, and the dessert. So we give trophies, and it's just lots of fun. And trust me, 3.5 ounces of soup times 12 is more than a quart.
Oh, you're full.
It's a lot. It's a lot of food. The restaurants donate the soup, and they're all local restaurants, and they love their trophies. People get real serious about the voting. We also, within the last couple of years, started a cork pull. So you get, you pay $20 and you get a bottle of wine that's worth at least that. Mm-hmm. This year we actually have a wine refrigerator on our silent auctions. So, and it'll have some wine in it. And we have a gift card. It might be a tree. Somehow you pay the similar amount of money and you get gift cards that are worth more than what you pay for. And we started a cornhole tournament last year.
Wow.
Which really was fun. A lot of people didn't know about that. So we didn't have a lot of participation. And we were at Myers Lake Ballroom, so the cornhole was in one room and the soup was in the other room. But this year, we're in one big room at the McKinley Eagles. So they'll be right in the middle of the room, and it will really be a lot of fun to watch the competition. It's $10 per person to participate in the cornhole, but we have split 50-50 the prize. So whatever money we take in, the winners of the whole bracket get half of that. So.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
You started with something a couple of years ago, basically soup tasting, and this has really, really grown to include more and more and more, and more ways to increase the funds that then go to the hospital as well.
Exactly.
Let's talk about the soup. What restaurants, what kinds of soup is going to be there?
For sure this year we have dog days, and the hospital also always does a couple of different kinds of soup, and we just got the Bistro at Green.
Ooh.
Tim's Tavern has one with their clam chowder twice.
And it is so
yeah,
good.
it's the best, but I'm going to ask them if they'll bring something else this year because, but the hospital made, they won last year with their lobster bisque, and
I was just going to say, their lobster bisque is awesome.
Yeah, chicken tortilla soup. We have usually Cosmos is there, and Main Street Grill in North Canton participates. So, it's just a lot of restaurants that we go to anyway, and they are excited to be there. It's really fun.
And this takes place what day?
It is Sunday. It's the Sunday before the Super Bowl. So this year, the date is the 28th of January. We start at 4 and we close the doors at 7. We also, since we're at the McKinley Club, your beverages will be included for the $30 ticket this year. But and then we have pepperoni rolls from Bellicera in Massillon. They donate 12 dozen, and we probably buy 20 dozen this year because it's fun.
You're just talking about the very best thing to eat on a cold January night. Just load up on every kind of awesome soup you can imagine. It just sounds awesome. And now, can people come? What if they need to go? Can they do carry out, or is it all being at the event?
The tickets are for sale on the Mercy Hospital website if you go to events. That went live last week. But at the end, we sell quarts of soup for $5. And trust me, at restaurants, they cost $10.
That's a deal.
So we sell quarts of whatever soup is left for $5. And then if we have more left after that, we take the soup to the Refuge of Hope. So,
nice.
So it's a donation to a soup kitchen as well. And the restaurants are so happy to do it.
Okay, and we want to point out that these are professionally made soups. This is not, we're not asking anybody to come up, even though your grandma had the best recipe for something. We're not asking for donations of soup. We're asking for people to come out and eat soup.
Right.
And then we vote on which soup we like the best?
Yes.
How does that happen?
You get a program when you walk in the door, and your ballot is in there, and then each soup has a number. And trust me, there are some people who really get seriously come to vote. And the other thing is, it's very casual. No fancy dresses and heels. You're supposed to wear your team jersey or, a football shirt, whichever one you've got in your closet or can steal from your kids. It's just, tennis shoes and jeans, and families come and bring the kids too, because who doesn't like soup?
That's right. Well, and you know what? It gives us a chance to be excited about a Super Bowl. I mean, if you live in Northeast Ohio, Super Bowl seems a little out of reach at this stage of the game.
Exactly.
For a couple of years, maybe.
And one of the things we have at our silent auction, one of our members always donates Cavaliers tickets.
Oh.
So we have a pair of Cavs tickets that are flash seats that come with the buffet and the parking.
Oh, that's just the best.
So, yeah.
Oh, okay. So there will be silent auction with the Super Bowl.
Right. We have about 10 baskets.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's not overly overwhelming as well. Different than that Harvest Ball. So, okay, we want to make sure that that's on the calendar. January 28th, it's a Sunday, 4 to 7. And you know what? They are serious about the 7. I've gone at like 6:59, and they are closing up shop. So don't dilly-dally. Get there, I would say get there at 4. Because you want everything while it's good and hot and
we'll
fresh.
probably start to sell the soups in the 6:15 hour because by that time everyone's so full of soup, no one's eating. So, we're going to try and do the trophies a little bit earlier this year. But if you want to buy the soup, staying toward the end really helps.
And that is at the McKinley Eagles building. Okay. For Mercy Service League. And then can you tell us, do you have a way of knowing of specifically what kinds of things that the hospital is doing that Service League gets to support? Or is it pretty much just a, here you go, use it for however it's most needed?
Every time that we make a pledge to the hospital, it is for a specific purpose. And this time it's for AvaSure Telesitter, which is a way of monitoring patients by video rather than having to have an employee sit in every room with every patient who is at risk of falling or, trying to get out of bed when they're really not capable of that, or right after an operation or something like that. They have the beds are electronically sensed so that if the person starts to get up, there's someone monitoring the area so that they can be sure that the people are safe and send someone in quickly to assist someone who's getting out of bed when they shouldn't be. And there's one other thing we do. We're donating money, and actually the Super Bowl money pretty much paid for this, the sleep sacks that make it safe for babies to sleep without blankets. It's a bedtime thing that zips on to the child, and every parent goes home from the hospital with their new baby with a sleep sack.
That is so brand new. And, back when we were having babies, we didn't even know that, did we?
Pile those blankets in there because they're cute.
Oh, cute. And, Grandma hand knit it. And so this is the special heirloom blanket, not good for a baby.
Right.
We know now the ABCs of safe sleep, and that's alone, on their back in a crib, and that's it.
That's right.
And that is it. So, the sleep sacks rather than with a blanket on top.
Or even
so important.
Even some of the sleepers that aren't thick enough to keep the baby warm, the sleep sack is just a little warmer, and it has armholes so the kid can reach out and do whatever. And if once they get a little bit older, they don't need a sleep sack anymore. But those newborns really need this. So.
Yeah. Keep them warm, but without a blanket.
Safe, right.
Much safer. We're with Wendy Lichtenwalter. She is from Mercy Service League, talking about the Super Bowl and many other things. We'll be back after these words. You're listening to Our Community.